Today I'll describe how modern performance testers fit into an Agile world. In many organizations, the what's missing from Agile development teams is fairly common. Performance objectives aren't part of the user stories. As the teams proceed through their sprints, the functionality matures, but performance is completely missing from the process. It doesn't help that performance testing and analysis knowledge and tools are likely locked up on the other side of the wall with the performance test team. To close the gap, Agile organizations must begin to build a performance engineering culture. This starts with addressing the most important issue, including performance in the user stories. Performance testers have a good deal of experience stating performance requirements in clear and measurable terms, and their insight is invaluable to this process. But how this is accomplished is another matter. Many organizations employ the same user story template that is used for functional requirements. This does an especially good job of making performance requirements visible and understandable to stakeholders. Another common approach is to include performance requirements into the acceptance criteria for the relevant user stories. Another key aspect of shifting performance left in the development cycle is the unit and component level performance testing. First, performance testers and developers must work together to map the appropriate user stories onto system components to create a focus for unit and component performance testing activity. Next, performance testers assist developers with decorating existing unit tests to make them timed or multi-user performance tests as appropriate. Similarly, traditional performance test tools can be used to execute tests on system components, such as web services, that are already complete. There are some new tools that make that even easier. Service virtualization solutions can be used to stub out components that are still in development or external to the organization. An important caveat is that unit and component level performance tests will likely not be executed in a production-sized environment, since it probably doesn't exist yet. To adapt, performance testers need to shift focus away from the absolute measurements that don't mean much on a developer's desktop. Rather, it's important to look at trends and anomalies as the tests are run on each new build. Your build deployment tooling should support automatic execution of these unit-level performance scripts, so you can easily see the performance impact of code changes over time. Each of the activities discussed above helps to shift performance left in the development cycle and make performance part of everyone's job. The result is a culture that promotes a constant focus on performance. Finally, a traditional end-of-cycle system-level performance test still has its place prior to release to the customer. This activity, however, becomes a confirmation of system performance rather than an initial investigation.